Good evening, everyone. While I'm sitting in the parking lot getting ready to run in the PetSmart, I have to get this kitten some more food. But I've had a conversation a couple of times with some close friends about the unnatural affections that the Bible talks about that will occur in the last days, not only encompassing unnatural sexual relationships, but also parenting. I saw a video today, which is actually on the heels of something I saw yesterday. I think it was an article that was written. And I want to talk about unnatural mothering, unnatural mothers. When kids were first being found in cars, and the kids in the hot cars, they find the kids, they were dead in the car, or the parent forgot them in the car. And I said something is wrong with the parents, because I don't care under any circumstance. And during some stressful times in my life when my children were growing up, and I would be running here and throw from like work to pick them up, and then going in the house, rushing to do homework or whatever the case may be. Or even if their father picked them up, I still had to be in the house so I can get their food together and check their homework or this, that, and the other. So it was always rushed. So it was times when I've been in a vehicle, I've had a car, it's been stressed, I'm running from work, got kids in every grade level. My kids were all 6 years apart, so they were in different ranges of schools at different times. There was only one period in time when two of the children were in the same school, and that was Genesis and Isaiah. I think Isaiah was in like maybe the 6th or 7th, and Genesis was like kindergarten or first grade. They were in the same school until the school closed, and then they were separated again, because then by then Isaiah was going on to high school. But anyway, at no point in time, if I forgot anything, it would be a lunchbox. Because if my children are my possession, I treasure them. And I'm going to make sure when I'm getting out the car, and then at that age, but Genesis being small, the boys would help get her out the car seat or whatever the case may be. But even by myself, I never forgot a kid. So I just always found that to be weird. I'm like, what parent does not have the innate instinct as a parent? Even when, like, I remember riding along in the car with my mother, and when you slam on brakes, and you might already have a seatbelt on, my mother would instinctively, when I was younger, put her arm out extended, like to keep me from going through the windshield. So when I saw stuff like that, I'm like, it's no way in the world something unnatural going on. So now we're going to come forward into 2026, where after years and years and years of women, girls, being told that being a mother or having children is this, that, and the other, you actually out here, and I don't have anything with people with pets. I've had pets over the years. We now have a kitten in the house. But I'm not going to consider myself a pet parent or whatever the case may be, because to me, that's like replacing children. And that's what a lot of people are doing. You got strollers now, carriers. And I'm not talking about the little carriers that you carry, like we talking about actual carriers that look like baby carriers. The dehumanization that I have seen steadily progressing, and I have tried to talk about it, but few people grasp it. But the troubling thing is, a woman did an article yesterday, and a young man was talking about it, and I was sitting there flabbergasted about she regrets having her child. I don't know how old this child is, but you wrote an article and you published it. So at some point in time, this child is going to possibly, more than likely, because kids spend time on the internet, or somebody's always finding reasons to show kids different things, is going to see that their mother said that she regretted having them. Then we come to a story today. This man on Instagram did a video, and I'm sitting there in shock. And the people, I'm glad he dragged the lady, and the comment section dragged her, because I often wonder, I'm like, people, a lot of people, when I read the comments a lot of times, and I just see the state of the mentality of a lot of people around us, I'm like, Lord Jesus, protect us. We walking through the shadow. We really walking through the valley of the shadow of death, because people don't have any care or concern unless it's, you know, somebody they think that they told to care about. That's not actually makes sense to me. So anyway, this particular individual that I'm talking about now, she took her daughter to school for the last time today, she says. Well, I don't know when the video was done. The daughter is 7 years old. She has arranged, the daughter will be picked up by her adopted parents when she gets off or gets out of school after school. The mother did a video talking about she's selling her apartment, or no, her home, or whatever she's doing, or not renting, or stopping, or whatever she's doing. She's gonna buy an RV and she's gonna live freely. And her so-called boyfriend, she said to her boyfriend when she talked to him before she made the decision to put her 7-year-old daughter up for adoption, and which at first I was like, well, I commend you for putting the child up for adoption and not killing her, because there's a lot of people, women included, killing their kids. So I commend that part, but you ain't want a kid till you were 7. So the baby is going to get picked up by some strangers this evening, or whatever evening it was. The boyfriend told her to not let nobody judge her, and he encouraged her to get rid of the child. So she put the child up for adoption. So I said to myself, now, this hoe, because that's hoe activity, this hoe, and she said her boyfriend, so I don't know, I doubt that that's the father, because a lot, you know, today is celebrated, unfortunately, for you know, to have children and not maintain or try to have children with somebody that you can actually maintain a relationship with, or preferably marry. It's celebrated to have children with multiple men, just like it's celebrated, well, it's been a thing for years, having children with multiple women. Now I can see you have maybe 1 or 2, you know, you might have got married once, you had the child too early, then you finally got married, you have another one. But it's a pattern being set now where it's funny, you know, to do. So she said her boyfriend, you know, told her, go ahead, don't let nobody tell you, make you feel bad about yourself. So she done put her baby up for adoption, and she's going to travel on an RV. Now I'm wondering what she gonna do for money, her and the boyfriend, because it seems to me that, are you going to work in between? Do you have some savings saved up? Are you planning on maybe taking some odd jobs? Because I hope that you are, and not thinking you're going to have some type of ailment that you can claim for Social Security, because we just have a whole dependent society mentality, which is sickening within itself. But I just want to talk to women, hoping that it's some women. And I know, you know, we don't like to talk in realistic terms about checking ourselves, honestly, because I listen, I deal with it all the time. I'm like, we are the most, I'm like, sometimes I don't even want to talk to other females, because I'm like, do you realize that what you're saying, you are the problem? Because we have a problem. It's a lot of things that people have problems hearing, but women, we have a lot to say about everybody, but we don't have no checking for ourselves. And let me say, because we have children, we're aunts, godmothers, and whatever else we are, we need to be cognizant of what we're feeding these children, because they're getting these erroneous attitudes from us in some instances, but they're getting a lot of it from the world. The world has such a strong demonic grip on a lot of these children and on these young adults. If you don't raise your children on the foundation of God, These children, whether you realize it or not, whether you want to admit it or not, without the foundation of God, they are sinking sand. We need to get some hymns back, like On Christ, the solid rock I stand. We need to get some Jesus loves me. I don't know, but we have done an abysmal job overall with these children. You have, I don't know if it's true, but I'm saying that they're saying a lot of girls are getting sterilized so they don't have children. You have, as I've always said, and I don't care, I think y'all know at this point, I have a very strong disdain for the Democratic Party because of the things that they push, and abortion and all this feminitism. It's not feminism, it's feminitism. Because it has become a rabid dog mentality. When you have women, I know it was a problem when I saw women with pink vagina hats on. I'm like, never, never. As a grown woman, a couple of weeks ago, I saw grown women in the cold in Minnesota crawling around on the ground. Like, mentally, you're not okay. And it's not anybody's fault in a lot of instances but your own, because you're choosing to listen to a world that is confused and wants you confused and wants to send you straight to hell. So now we're taking these children, the hope, the future away from these girls, and allowing them to have their hope and future taken from them by the things that they're being taught in a lot of these schools and universities. I have never, and for Christians, the church, I follow the pastor I follow. I'm sure most of you have heard me, Bishop Patrick L. Wooden down there in North Carolina. I went to his church for my birthday last May. I intend to go back. This May is kind of packed, so I don't know if I'm gonna make it in May, but I will be going back. I said once a year, if not twice. I will be going to North Carolina, but I watch him every Sunday. It's another bishop I watch that's out of Atlanta. It's a couple of pastors I watch, but I had to be strategic and find some place where I know my soul can be fed. And when I need correction and direction, I will get it. I don't need nobody making me feel good. I don't need nobody selling me hate. I don't need nobody selling me victimhood or oppression. I need somebody to let me know what Jesus said and what he came to do in my life. And you know what? Without all of that garbage, I am doing just fine. And most people would do better if you stop seeing yourself as a victim and more so as an overcomer that Jesus said that you were, that God told you that you were. But that's a whole nother story and a whole nother day. I'm back to these children. It's unnatural. In Romans chapter 1, was it 18 through 32, within all of that, when they talk about how people are going to be in the last days, lovers of self. That's a very selfish. Love is sacrificial. It's reciprocal in some instances, and it should be. At some point, what you give is what you're going to get back. But as a parent, it's sacrificial. You sacrifice your time and your energy when you make a decision to have children. Today, we have individuals that are having children. They really don't have no business having children because they're not even ready themselves up here to have children. But in the case that they are having children, they don't want to receive any correction or direction. And that's because growing up in households, they would never had any boundaries and nobody told them no. They were made to feel like they were the bee's knees and all of that. And now you can't even direct them with their children. Raising children and getting guidance, things are handed down from one generation to the next. Some generations don't have nothing to hand down because they came from something where they haven't been taught much anything because the parents weren't around to teach them nothing. Then you have some that actually taught their children something, but they so busy listening to their friends and the TV screen that they don't even pay attention. So we have a failure to parent or to mother or to nurture our children now. You have females teaching their children to curse, twerk. They got hair weaves, fingernails. Children cannot be children anymore. You got young men teaching their sons how to sag their pants, earrings, all that foolishness. Children need to be children. the state, it's just so much wrong with the world today and so much with the culture. I hate the culture. I call it a vulture because it is. It's sick. It's death. It's demise. It's not uplifting. These children don't have anything to look forward to. And then now you talking about getting rid of, you done made a decision to have a child. And then you're going to give it up for adoption at 7. No thought to how this child going to feel. But the man did speak when he did the video and talking about and showing us what this woman put out there. He did speak positively over that that baby's life. That baby's going to grow up to become something, because we're going to believe that hopefully the adoptive parents will be more sacrificial, more loving, more caring, more interested in this child because they are choosing this child. The mother, unfortunately, was gifted this child and is pissing a gift away. Children are a gift from God. And for her to squander that gift, yes, parenting is a challenge. I had many challenges with my children. Still do. And they're adults. But they're they're adults now. You can pray for your children. You can be there at some point in time for them when they get a certain age. But the main thing, you just gotta be there. They gotta learn the way we learn. You want to make things go away for them, of course, but you can't do that, because one day they're going to have to be here without you. And they're going to have to know how to figure it out themselves. But to see a woman be that selfish, and it's a lot of women that are selfish. I've come across some selfish mothers. When you are busy running around instead of going to work, or you get off work and you run around with your kids, got your kids in the car, you picking up McDonald's and Wendy's, or going to the corner store and buying snack food when they need to be eating because you want to run around over to your friend's house and talk and gossip or smoke weed. Selfish. When you become a parent, especially a mother, there's no nurturing. Mothers aren't checking for what their kids have, what they need. Some kids don't even smell like babies no more. Down to the baby lotion. It's sad. It's really sad. We have a generation that just really have no. I'm gonna tell you what the biggest problem is. Everything is about what I can get from this pity party or that and the other. We have a lot of people now having babies just because they can have babies. I mean, just because they can make money or use them as a pity party. You have people celebrating being single mothers. They don't even have no intention of getting married. I saw this girl do a video and I was like, is this fool crazy? She said she felt bad or regretted growing up in a 2-parent home. And that's because you all have made it sexy to be a victim of something. It's nothing sexy about being a victim or about doing something improperly. Things happen. You can end up as a single parent. You can end up as a single father or a single mother, and that's fine. But to make it happen intentionally is something that has been applauded and lauded for too long in society, and particularly among the culture, aka the vulture, as I call it. So when you don't have to take care of your children, when you can call this person or that person for money and don't have to be responsible for your children, you're not going to be. So then you get frustrated because you're so busy taking care of and doing this and that. They're not going to do anything. The reason I learned or had to be, first of all, I knew growing up as a parent, I never wanted to be a trifling parent. I wasn't never perfect. Nobody's perfect. But I never wanted to be a trifling parent. I wasn't going to put my responsibility on somebody else. But my mother wasn't going to let me do that either. My grandparents weren't going to let me do that. Those were my children. If I needed a babysitter, I had to call them and ask. It wasn't just dropping them off and being gone and then coming back 55 hours later or hanging out. Don't nobody know where I am. We setting ourselves up and have allowed for this foolishness, and nobody wants to address it or correct it because what? Oh, you can't tell me what to do. Oh, well, we don't want to gatekeep, or I'm an independent, I'm a strong, I'm this, that, and the other, I'm an independent bee. You're not independent if you relying on other people to do for you what you need to try to do for yourself or to do for your children constantly. You might need things time sometimes, but all the time. If you're asking people for money or things all the time for your kids, then guess what? They have a right to interject whatever the opinion they have because they are invested. And if they're going to be that invested, maybe you shouldn't have your children with you. In some instances, you're probably better off with somebody else raising them, which is sad. If we're not going to get these kids up to speed, especially these females, and check them on their non-nurturing ways, no child should be dropped off nowhere without any basic things that they need. Now, if they going somewhere where they go frequently and there's some things at the house for them already, that's fine. But just to drop a child off with one pamper, a few wipes, that's not what parents do. That's not what no mother does. You make sure your child has what they need when you go somewhere. So what you're saying is you expect the person that you're taking your child to, that's doing you a favor by watching them, you expect them to also provide things. No, it doesn't work that way. The sense of entitlement that we have allowed among too many people, too many young people, is ridiculous. And it's sad. And they have no natural anything, no natural instinct. Why wouldn't a mother, like, no, wait a minute, like the girls, when you see them, they out in the street, you see videos, they out fighting. They got their kids out there, they fighting. Or they holding a child, or somebody holding a baby, and somebody swing on them. No care for the baby. What? It's a demonic, y'all so busy, y'all want to talk about, oh, something this, or maybe it's something wrong, there's something going on. Yeah, it's something wrong with them. It is something going on. It is something wrong. It's a demon, a demonic spirit of triflingness, unnatural affection towards your children, or no affection at all. You just in it for what you can get monetarily. Can you get some food stamps? Can you get a Section 8 voucher? That's why I'm glad we're going to have some able body requirements. They still ain't go deep enough for me, because I think it's under 13 that you have to actually, when I read parts of the bill, I'm like, no, you need to lower that to like 8 years old. Because by 8, the kids are in school. You can work a couple of hours and even pick them up. I've seen too many females walking around. They're not doing nothing. Nothing. Not even trying to get in the class. Years ago, people used to try to get in a training class or do something. It was always a trifling individual, but most part, people wanted to get out. They didn't want to stay on. We have created a class of people that want to stay on benefits, and then they looking for how they can get more money off of people that work and make money. Newsflash, we don't want to keep giving you money because you're not doing nothing with it. You're not even raising children that are fit to be amongst society. Look at the children out in the street half the time. Teen takeovers and all that foolishness. And then, yeah, a lot of y'all, oh, but they don't have nothing to do. That's your job. Let me, I'm going to say this and then I'm gone, because I need to go get this cat food. Crime prevention starts at home. We shouldn't have to be out here trying to find ways for parents to monitor and take care of their children. If your children commit a crime under a certain age, you're responsible. Just like if my child, when they were toddlers and they broke something in somebody's house, that was my responsibility. If they broke something, I needed to pay for it because those are my children. If they did it accidentally, then we have a talk. But if they did something negligently or stupidly, that was my responsibility to pay for it. When your children are under a certain age, it was a story a couple of weeks ago. I think the father, know his child ain't had no license. Let his child use a vehicle. And I think the father, because the child's underage, I don't know if the father is going to jail, found guilty and taking the crime. Yep, that's about right. That's about right. When you hold parents accountable, when you hold anybody accountable, that will encourage many people or force them to hold their child or who they're supposed to be responsible for accountable. We have become trifling, lax. These people have told you that your children cannot be disciplined, that they are stupid, so they have to lower standards. Children are not reading the way they should be able to read. They're not doing math. They're not even doing thinking. All by design. Because when you have people that can sit and sell you stupid concepts, like a boy or girl can be a boy or girl. You can take off this body part. People are not Mr. Potato Heads. You can't switch a boy from a girl. But the people that buy it are stupid and demonic. It's not phobic. Those words that they're using are to keep you from speaking out when you all know you need to speak out, speak up, and reject it. Because what we're looking at now is the fallout from listening to stupid foolishness that have been taught to a lot of children and taken with these same children from the places that they've gone to, and they've taken it into the classrooms. And these people are teaching your children. If you don't want them taught that foolishness, you have one or two options. You get your children out of there and you homeschool them. That is why being a mother and being a mother at home is imperative if you can do that. It's not ancient. It's not anything. The first charge that we have is to our children. The father gets the money, do it. The first job to mother. Satan has done a masterful job of destroying the family. And I'm talking about the family. And that's what he's doing with that woman that take her child and put it up for adoption. 7 years old. This child is going to get picked up by I don't even know if she's met these people before. Because her mother is selfish. We're raising a whole hell of a lot of selfish individuals. That's selfish. Selfish. When you have women that hair down the head, they can't even bother to take time to do their children. You know why a lot of children, little girls' hair today is jacked up? Because their parents putting weave and stuff in it before it's time. Lazy and trifling. But then they wonder why. They growing up and they wonder, oh, they too fast. They too grown. You're making them grown. Children's hair is soft. You have to take care of it and nurture it. But nobody wants to do that. Because you want to be outside and be a hoe. Because that's what a lot of people are being, hoes. Call it what it is. We got to stop trying to dress up language. That's why, when I read the Old Testament, God ain't had no problem calling things what it was. When I first saw the word whoredom in the Bible, I said, oh, but you have to call things what it is so people will know the detriment. And some words are so vile. You don't want to be that. That's the power of words. You can't dress stuff up. These people have pushed dress up words. And I thank God that I was an English major and love words because they can't dress words up for me. I know what a minor attractive person is. I know that's a pedophile. You can't dress that up. But a lot of people are going to be tricked, just like you already been tricked, by wordplay. Do me a favor. If you hear a word being used by certain people to push or promote an idea, call me or ask me if we could digest it together. I studied English. Now, I ain't exactly finished my studying, okay? Which is something I need to correct because it's never too late. But I have enough. Plus, over the years, I self-educate. But one thing I don't lose is my love of words, and I read. And I read my Bible, and I know the word. So God will show us, imperfect people, what he needs to show us. What we need to be doing and should never stop doing, but it's imperative. If you have any contact with any child, and especially if you know that their parents are not doing it, speak some scripture over them. Slide a Bible verse in their belongings when you send them home. Read the Bible to them. Talk to them about when you were a kid. Sunday school, vacation Bible school, whatever. Pick a kid up, take them to vacation Bible school or Sunday school. Even when my mother didn't go to Sunday school with me, she made sure I got there. My grandparents, thank God, My grandfather was a pastor. So I had to be in the church. I appreciate it and I thank God for that now. Because in the times that we in, I would be as lost and daggone near falling away as a whole lot of people, because I would be listening to people tell me stuff that don't make sense and that doesn't go, and it goes directly against what's in the Bible and what I've been taught and raised on. We are allowing our children to be raised by people, by Satan. And that's what it is, by Satan. The things that some of these schools are pushing is Satan. So when you don't counter that, or when you don't take your kids away from that, why would you give your children to Satan for a couple of hours? And then they come home and they talking to you about genders. And these kids are actually killing people. You have some instances where children are killing their parents over genders that are made up. It's not but two genders. Their minds are messed up. So yeah, they're going to kill. Unfortunately, I hate to tell you that, they're going to kill. They're medicated, over-medicated, be it weed. Did you see Children's Hospital last week? Had a thing come out talking about children, something about the marijuana. They coming in with marijuana. This marijuana, not marijuana that used to smoke out the earth, that was maybe with nothing on it. Ain't no telling what they putting on it. These kids' minds are messed up. And then when you that young, they always talking about your brain don't develop till you're 25, but they want to tell you that 2-year-olds are trans. No, the mama or the daddy is trans, and they're a pervert and a pedophile. But the child is not. Children become what you tell them they are. Get your children. Get between you and them and these children. Even if it's your own daggone children. Pray. Somebody pray for me. Are we praying for these children? Are we praying for our grandchildren? I got a list of names in my Bible of children that I know specifically, some that I don't. But I always pray for the children everywhere. All children. Because they need it. We have done a shit job of protecting them. And I can't get no plainer than that, because it is. It's been a shit job. And then the fact that half of them are ignorant and illiterate, but yet they're out here on the streets ready to... They don't even know what they're marching for. Half of them don't have no business out there marching. But that's our fault. And the only way to correct it is to start now. We might not get all of them, but we'll get enough of them. I'm telling you, we are in correction mode. We have a window. We better take it. We better take it. And the last thing I'm going to tell you, as I tell you before, be careful, be vigilant, because you don't know who's out here around you. I've had, like I told you, a front row seat. You don't know who's around you. We're trying our best to get their asses out of here, but it's people that are fighting it. Many of you. Go take a ride down, dial down, and do some research on who's been arrested for what. Yeah, I posted earlier. If y'all follow, I'm leaving everything that I post on my sometimes I go and clean it up. I'm not cleaning up nothing. I'm leaving everything on as you go back and scroll. 4 guys arrested? I think 3 of them illegal. They killed the 14-year-old. They're here. You don't even know it. You cannot afford to be out here on these ring apps. I get sick of saying that. Oh, ICE is out here. Yeah, let them be out here. You know why? Because they know better than you what these people are capable of. When I was at ICE, I learned a lot reading the files of some of these people. There's one guy, I remember his name to this day, and I was at ICE from 2011 to 2014. Peter Wasser from Africa. Every time the agents was trying to get rid of his behind, it was always something. I was tired of making arrangements for him and the officers to go out of country to remove him, because he would get out there and show off. So you can't take him on the airplane when they showing off, because they're going to other passengers get upset. But they know how to game the system. But his charges and why he was being removed, on top of being illegal, you don't want to know. Okay? I wonder to this day, did they ever get him up out of here? Prayerfully they did. I hope he ain't come back. But then again, he probably did. Because when that border was sitting wide open, many people came through here and we don't know. I still work at a DHS component, and we don't know. I've told y'all this over and over again. When they was talking about the money ran out, they ain't had no money for FEMA because of all that that money they was using to shelter illegals. I saw it. And it was hard for me to sleep knowing, because I felt bad. But I'm like, you weren't the one making the decision. But to know that you actually saw that. And I'm like, we spending all this money to shelter people that don't need to be sheltered here. And we got problems. We got these mothers that don't want a mother. They just want to get money. Fathers that, some of them want a father, they can't. Then you got the sassy problem, which I keep telling y'all, stop clapping for these boys in wigs and lipstick. It's not natural. And if you think God is not letting us get it together or wanting us to get it together before the window of opportunity closed, you're sadly mistaken. Read the Old Testament. He always gives you time. Gives us time. Time and warnings. It's up to us what we do with it. But then eventually that window of opportunity closes. And his punishment, because we are due punishment. The only way we avoid it, the grace of Jesus, through the blood of Jesus. And then y'all got the nerve not to be telling these children about Jesus, so now they rejecting him. Atheists, we spiritual, we this, we that, or they turning to other religions. You know why? Because in the natural sense, we all know what order is. You can't have all these females trying to teach men. Woo! Baby! Can't teach no man how to be a man. You can't talk to no man. And they're rejecting it. That's what the biggest thing is. The only people that's there is the ones that are either suckers or sissies. Men know they can't be taught manhood from a female. It's some things God gave you innately. Just like as a mother, you're supposed to be able to nurture or have a nurturing tendency towards your children. Unless the devil gets in your ear year after year after year after year, which we have, and tell you that children are a problem. You don't need to have children. You just go abort them. Abort them, abort them, abort them, abort them. And now our populations are falling. Falling, falling, falling. Pray for the children. Pray for that baby. Pray for the one that mama wrote the article that she regrets having her. I think I never regretted having my children. Even today. Even today. But some of the challenges I've had to face. I don't regret having my children. Because it was a point in time when my children were the very reason why I am alive today. So to hear somebody say they regret having their child, you should have gave your child up for adoption, because there's plenty of people out here that would take them. I ain't in a position. I mean, I could take care of a child today. I don't have the energy, but I would if I had to, considering how woefully inadequately a lot of these children are being taken care of. I would. I'm more mentally stable, discerning. My finances are good. I wouldn't want to because I'm getting older, but if that's what I had to do, I'd do it, because these children are being shortchanged. So pray for the children. Pray for our children, our nieces, nephews, and all that. That they be raised, be considerate, and think of their children before themselves. And listen, we got to let them stumble and fall. We could be there to help them pick up or, guide them going forward, but we have got to let them fall. Because we're not going to always be here. We're doing a disservice. Seriously. They're not growing. They're like oversized teenagers. But yet they want to think they're grown because of their age. Your age don't make you grown. So if you want to grow them up a little bit, you have to take some of the guardrails off. You can't come to their rescue all the time. You can't keep, they spent their money on some shoes, but they know their child need milk. You can't do that. You can't do that. You got to find a way. It can't happen. They're not going to learn if keep being rescued from being adults.